Hey everyone, welcome back for another learning nugget in Power Apps. Today we're diving into one of those Power App functions that is very simple but is very important once you get deeper into app building. And of course I'm talking about the GUID function. Okay, if you've ever wondered what a GUID is, why Power Apps uses them, or how they help prevent data issues, this video is for you. So let's get started with the basics. What is a GUID? So what is a GUID? At its core, a GUID is just a unique identifier, a string of characters that is guaranteed to be one of a kind. In Power Apps, it's used when you need to create records that can't conflict. That's where the GUID function comes in. You can use it like this. Where you just write in here GUID done, right? Or we can bring back what I just cut out and we can get it to parse. Sorry, I added an extra quote there. We can get it to parse our own GUID if we want to bring our own in. But for the most part, and for whatever I always do, I just use this and it brings in 32 characters. Okay, so behind the scenes, GUIDs are random, but follow a format similar to what you see on the screen. Power App sticks to that format, 32 characters separated by dashes. Every time you call this function, you get something brand new, no repeats. Now I know what you're going to say. If you reach a certain amount of record creation, then there's a very small chance it will repeat. And yeah, that's true. But for our sake and for Power App's sake, we're usually working with very minimum amount of records under 500. You're not going to get, it's going to be all unique. You're not going to get anything that is the exact same. Okay, so here's our demo app. Let's see what we can do. I'm actually going to hop over to SharePoint. Okay, and we're going to load this in. Now, I've made two lists here for this example. I haven't put any columns in it yet, but let's look at them. Okay, so for the first one, just our title. Then I'm going to add a text. Okay, we're going to call it Robot ID. Okay, we're just going to leave it there. But wait a minute. I know GUID's very good at keeping everything unique. But what if there's an off chance that, hey, there might be something similar? If you go into your column settings and you drop down for more options, you can actually enforce unique values right here. Okay, so let's save that. Let's add a couple other columns. Robot, location, sure. And I always like to have a yes or no now. So let's go robot status. Okay, because maybe it's on, maybe it's off. And let's do robot checkup. And this one we're actually going to change to a date. Robot last checkup. So now we have very minimal information about our robots. Okay. Let's go back to site contents. Now we're going to create one for robot audits. We're going to use robot ID. Maybe you might see where we're getting at here. Then we're going to add in a date and time. And robot checkup. And then last, just because we want to keep this on the short side, robot comments. Okay, so very simple lists. Okay, so I've gone ahead and prepped a little demo for you to show how GUID works. Let's take a look. So here's our main screen. Okay, let's click this button. It brings up a window for test new robot. Let's name our robot Emmett. And he is a silly robot. But before we hit create, I saved this part of the code for the tutorial, and just to show you a bit of patch and how GUID works when creating that new record. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing as normal. Here's our robots. Defaults because it's new, right? And then our record. I don't know if you guys heard Emmett in the background, but I'm kind of laughing to myself because that was funny. So name new dot value. Okay, so our title is txt name new dot value. Our robot description is txt comments new dot value. Our robot ID is just this code. Just this code. Okay, and it will remain new. Okay, so here, unique. It will remain unique. Sorry. Let's notify our people, the users that are using this, and say, hey, yeah, your robot has been saved to our database. Okay, let's give it a success. There we go. I also need to close the pop-up. Okay, so now let's go back in. Let's test it. Okay, so Emmett is our robot name. Robot comments. He is a silly robot. Let's create the record. Okay, now we have successfully submitted our robot into our database. I've went ahead and created an audit that we can do within this application. Let's examine the icon before I click it. Okay, so these items are set to the database. Let's go look at it. Of the info of the robots. Okay, when we click this button, all we're setting this variable to, the global robot, is this item. That captures the whole row from SharePoint. Okay, and then we're going to navigate to our new robot audit. Okay, so let's navigate over. Okay, this is from an earlier demo. Again, I'm not trying to perfect everything here, so Emmett needs to be taken offline for repairs. And let's take him offline. Now, I didn't finish this code because I wanted to, again, show you how we're doing this. Okay, so we need to write 2 patches, right? Patch 1 is for the main list of robots. Okay, so let's say we need to, well, we want to keep track of when the last audit was. And we want to keep track of, are they live or not, right? So let's do this. Now, you remember that global variable that we created from that list? That is this record right here, okay? What updates do we want to say here? Well, we don't need to do much, do we? Oh, I like how it's not responding there. Okay, we don't need to change much in this list. We can do robot last checkup, right? We'll throw a today code in there. And then I know we want to do robot status. And that will be, oh, I didn't name that switch, did I? Toggle 1.checked. Okay, so very simple. I'm going to change this name. Toggle status robot. And that's all we're changing. When was the last time the robot had a checkup, which is today, and what is the current status of the robot, which reads the toggle switch. Okay. Patch 2 is for the audit list. Okay, so let's patch robot audits. Of course, for this one, it's going to be a brand new one. Common all audits. Okay, and the record here. Let's go robot ID. Global robot ID. Okay, I want to put the title in there the exact same. So global robot title. We might include today's date to keep that unique. I know SharePoint gets a little mad if you're not keeping everything kind of unique in the title area. Robot comments. We will do text comments new 1 dot value, because again that should be changed actually to comments audit, right? And this is, yes, button audit submit. So comment all robot audits defaults, comment all robot audits. The title looks good. The robot ID looks good. Ah, yes. The title, robot checkup, is today. I'm just going to check my SharePoint list one more time. So that's my info robots. Duplicate this tab. Let's check out the audits. So we've done title, ID, the checkup, the comments, and the status. We want to track what's the current status of this robot during this audit. Okay, we know that's toggle status robot dot checked. But I beg to differ. You know what? I just added that one because I wanted to check. Okay, so now all our code looks good. Let's click. You know what? There's going to be one thing that confuses your users, and it is not just to notify your audit is being submitted. Again, I like to tell them that, hey, it was a success. Let's navigate back to the robot main screen. There we go. And submit. Hey, your audit was submitted. That's terrific. Okay, now, there's one more thing we don't see. How many audits has this robot done, right? Because we can click this again, and now we can say Emmett has been repaired, and he's going to be online. Now we can check that it's been submitted. So how would we do that? Let's say we just copy this icon. Okay. And instead of this, let's see if we have a library. It's an add library. Do we have an archive? Yeah, let's do the search. View robot. Okay. In here, we're going to take this robot audit, duplicate the screen. Obviously, we don't need all these controls. We know we have a back button here. This label's fine, except for all audits for this robot. And instead, we're going to try a table. All robot audits. Yep. Big time error. Doesn't like it. Let's go back to our main screen. So set global robot. I like that still. Clear collect. Call robot audits. Filter. And then our robot audits. Robot ID equals this item. Robot ID. And of course, instead of going here, oh, sorry, I needed 2 of those. Robot audit 1. Obviously, I would change that, but let's wrap this up. So now let's click our search. And audits, and there we go. Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw what I just did there. That was pretty cool. First, I selected this for the audits, but then my items, I changed it to the collection. Okay, so now you see what our robot status is. Every time there was an audit, what the robot ID is. Let's go back. Let's create a new robot. Okay, we'll call it Dad. Dad is the best robot, of course. Create record. Now we have a couple audits for Dad, or a robot record for Dad. Let's change this to Dad needs to be repaired. We'll take him offline. Okay, so now we see he's offline. Okay, Dad has now been repaired. Put him back online. And we can check our audit history. And there you go. Newer to older. Older to newer. This new table feature is pretty cool. Okay. And there you go. There's our demo. It's all talking back and forth. You can see that this 32B for each audit. For this, C71, C71. So you can see it's all talking together. Now you can add as many audits as you want, and it's always going to go look for that robot named Emmett because it's actually connected through our GUID. I think this demo has been enough to show you that this is a must-know and a must-do for all your applications. And as always, I wish you all the luck in the world in your journey through Power Apps. Did you enjoy the video? Then drop a like. Do you want to master Power Apps and beyond? Subscribe now and let's level up together. Thanks for tuning in. See you all next week.